Well, we are facing a very difficult situation, a dual crisis globally, which consists of both the fuel crisis that we have with high rising costs of fuel and also food crisis. In the light of these dual problems that we have, the Southcentre decided that it should discuss this issue and was very pleased that it was able to bring experts from intergovernmental organizations like the Food and Agriculture Organization, the UNCTAD, and also we were happy that we were able to do so in conjunction with the Indonesian mission based in Geneva. The crisis evokes all kinds of responses. Some people see this as an opportunity, and yes, indeed, it is an opportunity, but opportunity for some can be losses for the other people. So we need to be able to factor into our equation the question of how we balance the opportunities with the risks. Clearly, the one model that is offered by those who are involved in massive production of grains globally see this as an opportunity for them to get into commercialized agriculture, which is basically the same story as before, but this would enable food production to grow, but at the cost of making food production more capital intensive. So we have more hybrid seeds, more fertilizers, more tractorization, more use of water, but basically putting initiative in the hands of those who have capital. This was a message that was conveyed by some people, and that is the global corporate strategy. In this global corporate strategy, sometimes the losers are those who are at the tail end of both production and consumption, because at the tail end of production we have poor peasants, small farmers, who are the tillers of the land, mostly women in many cases in Africa and in Asia. And these are the people who do not necessarily benefit from high food prices. Also consumers, the poor are also consumers, both urban and rural. So when we are looking at the food crisis and the fuel crisis, we need to be able to carry out a proper analysis of who benefits and who loses. In our view at the Southcentre, we think that the prices that are escalating ought not simply to be an opportunity for those who hold capital and global corporations like the Cargill to be the drivers on the seat. We argue that there should be a balance between those who are able to provide inputs like fertilizers and seeds and water, and those who till the land, the direct producers. People who are producing should be directly involved in agricultural planning. In other words, there should be democratization of agriculture production, so that poor people who are producing are also involved, not only in cultivation and harvesting, but also in planning. We also argue that between the producers who produce the grains and the final distributors who own large stores, there are a whole lot of middle agents. These are people who supply credit, bankers. There are shippers who ship the grains. There are insurance companies. There are millers. There are bakers. There are a whole range of people in between, the middle people. Quite often, when prices go high, it is the large corporations and the intermediate groups that I mentioned who have a clout on the market. Also, they have a clout on the policy making. The people who do not have leverage on policy are the poor at the tail end. And therefore, our argument is that these high prices of food and fuel should be critically examined by all those who are concerned, in order that there is an equitable distribution of the prices, and ultimately we are of the view that there should be better rewards for the tillers on the ground, better rewards for the small farmers for several reasons. One of them is that when they have more to spend, they will spend on things that they require, basic needs: food, shelter, clothing, shoes, two-band radios, refrigerators. These are the things that people need. And these are the things that should form the basis of manufacturing and industrialization in many countries of the South. It is not the export of luxury cars that will grow our country's reach. It is basically the expansion of domestic market, on the regional market, which will enable our industrialization to proceed on the basis of the needs of the people. So I think we of the opinion that better reward should be given to the tillers on the ground and the farmers. And of course, when we have more income coming to the rural peasantry and the farmers, it will also help stop the drain of people from the rural areas to the urban areas. So all in all, we see that this is an opportunity for us to look at the entire agricultural sector and the food, especially food growing sector, critically, and not repeat the mistakes of the past, which have been institutionalized and driven all policy decisions on this to the market. This is not a market-driven exercise. It is a social and political exercise.